In this video, I would like to teach you how to handle toxicity like a professional. If you want to go pro, there's no thousands way to handle toxicity. And before I go any further, I'd like to have you listen to someone that contacted me about this topic, and you will understand quite quickly that this guy used the most common method to handle toxicity, and it cost him his career.
When someone's being toxic, my way of dealing with it is to mute them and just keep playing the best I can. As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing productive you can do with toxicity. You just have to make sure it doesn't get to you. What I actually wanted to ask you is this. In a team environment, I can't just mute my teammate. And because I can't, every scrim ends up going to shit and I just don't feel like practicing under those conditions anymore.
This person handles toxicity like most people do. He just mutes people who are toxic. He just separates himself from toxic people. And what happens when he got a shot to become pro? He was surrounded by people being very toxic. Why? Because let's say I'm playing Valorant and there are always toxic people in my ranked games. My solution is to mute them. I have a question for you. Did you actually solve your issue? Did you actually develop a new skill or skill set that will allow you to handle toxicity better? Or did you just find a way to run away from a problem? Did you just find a way to hide the problem? Did you just find a way to shield yourself from the problem? Now you understand that you didn't learn shit when you decided to mute a problem, when you decided to ignore it. And what happens when you have everyone doing this shit? When they're in a team environment, nobody knows how to handle toxicity. Therefore, if one of the players is toxic, the whole team will be toxic. The whole team will be affected. Second way, you really don't want to handle toxicity. Play in a pre-made or only with nice people. When you do this, once again, did you develop any skill that allow you to handle toxicity better? Did you develop a new way of seeing things so that you're not hit by toxicity? Or did you just find another fancy way to escape the problem, to ignore the problem in some way? Once again, every time you run away from your problems, you learn nothing. And when you can't run away anymore, you will be crushed by your problems. This player that contacted me, yes, we handled his issue. Yes, he became a pro, but only after I changed completely his way of thinking, his way of seeing toxicity. And this is what I'm going to do as well for you in this video. But before doing that, I'm going to kill every pieces of advice I see too many times in this industry, and that is going to cost you your career. Third way you want to avoid while dealing with toxicity. Act like a victim and demand others to deal with this issue. You go on social media, what happens when someone is being toxic? There's a little clip, and then the person asks, Riot, what are you doing? Why is these kinds of animals in my game? Why don't you do anything against toxicity? What is the police doing? What is the president doing? What is the army doing? When I'm doing this, did I learn a new skill? Did I change my way of doing things? Or did I fuck myself so deeply I don't understand that I just fucked up my career? How did I fuck up my career? Every time you ask someone else to solve your issue, you prove to your brain that you are powerless, that you can do nothing about it. Therefore, you enter in a state of victimhood. And what does a victim do to get things better? Nothing. By definition, a victim is someone who cannot do shit, but wait for the savior to come so they can be rescued. You never want to be a victim when you want to be a champion. A champion is an actor of its own life. It's not an NPC. It's not a victim. It's not someone that is just waiting there. Think about all the people that tell you, man, if I didn't succeed in esports, it's because the industry wasn't mature enough. Right? The industry wasn't mature enough. Your only solution now is to wait for it to be mature. Some people have been waiting for 20 years. Fourth wave, not to deal with toxicity. Take a break after a bad experience. Let's say you played a game and the guy was really toxic. Like he kept hammering you, he kept telling you that you were bad, and you were gravely affected by it. And then you tell yourself, I'm gonna take a break. What you show to your brain at this point is when it gets tough, you walk away, you run away, you escape like a coward. I'm not telling you that you should stick here. You should stick with a situation and keep suffering. I'm telling you that the best way for you to handle toxicity is to stop being affected by it. Of course, it's easier said than done. I'm going to give you a few tools, a few process that you need to follow in order to get rid of toxicity. But you need to understand that every time you decide to escape, to run away, to take a break or whatever, after something is difficult, you're teaching your brain that you cannot handle the situation. And what happens is you will take breaks more and more often. Your brain only amplifies what you teach him. You teach him when it's difficult, when I'm upset, I need to go take a break. Then your brain is like, okay, now at the slightest amount of toxicity, I'll make you take a break. And this is why at the beginning of your career, you could do like 10 ranked games, no problem. And now you can barely do 3 and you want to shoot yourself. You taught your brain to be a victim. You taught your brain to be a coward. Next way, you don't want to handle toxicity. Pretend you're not affected. This is the worst. It's just a facade. You're just pretending that, yeah, I don't care, I can play. And your jaw is like clenched, your fists are like closed. Every time you try to do something, you think about what he will say about me if I fail this time. You pretend you're not affected and you keep going. What do you do here when you do this? You're just pretending that nothing happens. You're just pretending that you're fixing the issue. But once again, you just found another way, another fancy way to run away from a problem. I don't want you to pretend not to be affected. I want you not to be affected. And we'll see later how to do that. Worst way to handle it, like worst of the worst, act like a man and take it. These are the people who tell you all the time, no pain, no gain. If you want a seat in this industry, you have to suffer for it. Your brain doesn't work like that. Your brain just wants pleasure or avoid pain. So if something is painful, it will find a way to distract you. It will find a way to disconnect you. This is why you see so many players when they're in a game where everyone is tilted, they just stop talking, they just disengage, and they just wait for the scream to end. These guys are the one who took it like a man and kept suffering. And this behavior, you can see it as well in the children that were beaten by their parents. Like when you're a children and you get beaten by your father, for instance, you can't just fight back. So what happens is your brain is like, okay, I'm stuck. I cannot defend myself. I cannot flee because at home. All right, let me just think about something else. So this is why many children who were beaten when we were young, many people who were beaten when we were children, they tend to have a really hard time to focus. They just develop the ability to distract themselves. And this is what happens in esports as well. You're overwhelmed. You're surrounded by toxic people. Suddenly, like, you're not in the game anymore. You just do the bare minimum and you're not even here. So you don't learn anything. Finally, the last way you don't want to deal toxicity is fight back by being toxic as well. What do you do by this is that you just fuel the thing that is killing you. If you decide to fight back, and this is what I see a lot in Reddit, for instance. Oh, if someone is toxic, be toxic right back. Show them that you won't bend the knee. Show them that you're a man. Show them that I don't care the bullshit they tell themselves. But what this really does is you show the person or your brain that you're so affected by the toxicity, but you need to change completely your behavior. You need to react to it. As you can see, all these methods, they have a huge drawback, is you learn nothing and you're not focused on your real goal anymore. When you're fighting back by being toxic, you completely forget about your real goal, which is I want to be a champion. I want to go pro. I want to be the best player in this industry. When you're just being toxic, what happens? What do you learn? You learn to waste your time. You learn to talk to someone, to a random dude who is toxic to you, and to give him your time. This is the only thing you're teaching your brain. Before I give you the solution, I need you to fully understand what is the core issue of a problem. And the problem you have right now is deep down, you don't know which game you need to play in order to succeed, in order to go pro. When I tell this to people, they will just fight back and then tell me something like, oh, I play CS because CS is so much better. Like there's way more money, way more teams, way more official games. I think CS is better than, I don't know, Valorant, for instance. Oh no, I'm playing League of Legends because League of Legends, man, it's the dream. It's like the future. The thing is never going down and nobody can defeat it. You did not understand the question. So when I'm asking a player, what is the game you should play in order to go pro? The answer is never a game. The only valid answer you should give me is, I'm playing Pro Gamer Simulator. I'm playing a game where I need to learn all the skills, all the tools in order for me to guarantee that I'll be a pro gamer. Let's say you play Valorant. And in your mind, you're like, oh, I'm playing Valorant Simulator. What is your goal? Have a better rank. Once this is done, what is your goal? Do scrims. When you do this, what is your goal? Next goal, win tournaments. Then be spotted, be like recruited by a professional team. Now, let's be honest. How many players are just recruited just because they're good? None. None. If you want to be on the radar of someone recruiter, you need to be visible. If you are the best player in Valorant and you're invisible, nobody knows you exist, it's useless. The real game you're playing is Pro Gamer Simulator. And when you understand this, you will ask you one question that will change everything. What do I need to do? What are the skills do I need to develop in order for me to guarantee my success? Let's say you want to make sure that you are successful in esports and you want to be a pro gamer. You have to be good in the game, just like everyone else. But then you also have to have visibility. So you need to do some social media. You need to be really good at strategizing, at making new strats, new meta, dictating the game instead of just following it like a sheep. You need to be the best teammate possible. You need to handle reality, the reality of being a pro gamer. And this reality is there is a big obstacle on the way, which is toxicity. So you need to learn to handle it. And no, muting the problem is not fixing the problem. When you realize that you're playing Pro Gamer Simulator, every solution where you just run away like a coward is no longer valid. What happens as well is in Pro Gamer Simulator, you'll be like, okay, if someone is going to pay me, I need to make sure that I can make them money. What are the other ways I can make them money? Of course, with visibility, you get sponsorship, for instance. But also, if I had my own stream channel, if I had my own YouTube channel, I would be way more attractive to these people. When you play the real game, the only genuine game you need to play in order to succeed, everything is way more obvious. Every aspect of your career must be under your control. Now, about the protocol that you will follow in order to handle toxicity as best as you can, like a professional. What you actually want is to make sure that toxicity does not affect you in any way. Better than that, it needs to fuel you. Why? Because let's say everyone acts like the player we just heard at the beginning of the video. Oh, I just mute people. Therefore, if you got the shot at being a pro, you'll be surrounded by people who never handle toxicity, or they are toxic by themselves. What happens is, if you do not know how to handle it, if you're affected by it, your performance degrades, and if your performance is too low, you'll never be selected. So this is why I have a process for you so that you can better handle it, but also let it fuel you. If you do not do this, you're doomed. First step of a process. F is for face reality. How many times do I hear someone say, man, this industry shouldn't be toxic. People shouldn't be toxic. People should be supportive of each other. People should remember that we are on the same team and we are fighting for the same thing. People should have enough empathy. And if someone is struggling, we should encourage them. Yeah, and we should all hold our hands, dance around the fire, and sing Kumbaya. Wake the fuck up. You are in an environment that is competitive. People do not give a shit if you suck. They just want to win. Why do they want to win? Because 99% of them are going to fail. Why are they going to fail? Because they are playing Valorant Simulator. They're playing League of Legends Simulator. They're playing CS Simulator. Therefore, they just want to win, to have a better rank, or to have a better faceit, or whatever. Do they want to, let's say, develop new skills? Of course not. They're playing the wrong game. But if you're playing Pro Gamer Simulator, you face reality. You understand that, okay, I'm in an environment where everyone is toxic. What would be the best way for me to handle it? To understand that it's normal. To understand that it's supposed to happen. To understand that if it's supposed to happen, I don't need to pay attention to it. Second step, acknowledge that you are the problem. The second you say something like, oh, I lost it because my teammate was toxic. I lost it because the fighting spirit of my team was too low. I lost it because my teammate was not responsive. Every time you blame something, you give it full power over your life. So if you want to blame anything, blame yourself, because the second you accept you are the problem, you automatically become the solution. And when you become the solution, you can just fix your issue instead of waiting for someone else to save you. No one's going to save you. People can barely save themselves. So you need to acknowledge, to accept that you are the problem. The problem is not that the other guy, that Dark Sasuke, is toxic. The problem is Dark Sasuke is opening his mouth and you're listening to a fucking random. You should be laughing your ass off. You should be not even paying attention to this pleb. He's not even playing the right game. He's going straight to the wall and you're paying attention to someone that doesn't matter. Third step, identify your imaginary rules. Why do you believe that this environment shouldn't be toxic? Because when you were 8-year-old or even younger than that, people taught you, that people should respect you and you should respect everyone. But respect is something that is automatic. Welcome to the internet, motherfucker. Nobody gives a shit about this rule. When someone has a bad day, he will tell you on his microphone that he fucked your mother. He will do this every day. It happens every day. Yet, you have the proof that this respect does not exist on the internet, and every day you're like, oh, that shouldn't happen. According to my imaginary rules, people should be nice. People should be respectful. People should be supportive. Open your fucking eyes and break your imaginary rules. Get rid of them. What are the other imaginary rules that I tend to hear in this industry? Oh, we're in the same team, so people should be supportive. Oh, we want to be professional, so we should all be really committed to it. Half the people in this industry will tell you, I want to go pro, I'm ready to do everything. And then you tell them, okay, you need to review your game. Oh no, I can't do that. The most basic stuff they cannot do it. Get rid of your imaginary rules. Next step, refocus on your real goal. Everything gets way easier when you remind yourself that your real goal is to be a pro and not to be liked by Dark Sasuke. Everything is way easier when you realize that you need to develop a few set of skills, and in order to develop them, you need to be facing problems. Because if you're playing Valorant Simulator, you don't want problems, you just want to win. Problems have nothing to bring you. But if you play Pro Gamer Simulator, you only want problems, because these problems will push you to develop something else, something that will allow you to overcome these problems, but also to be a better player, a better athlete. And if you remind yourself, I want to be a pro, there's a question you will always use when it gets tough. what can I learn from this? What can I learn? How do I change? How do I make myself better? What do I need to change in order to be perfectly fit for this environment? How can I guarantee my success? Oh, I have teammates. They don't work this much. They don't work that much. They do the bare minimum. Good for me. Because if I do the bare minimum, I can do more. I can do more and nobody will stop me from it. As a pro gamer, you're supposed to be able to do everything that is related to the game. Everything. Strategy, uh, counter strat. You need to do more lineups, whatever you need to know everything about the game. And if you just share the task and you never do what other people are doing, you're fucked because you will be an incomplete player. Last step of a first word, which is fairy, yank yourself out of victimhood. Yank yourself out of victimhood. It will not be pleasant because when you're the victim, it is a very nice position. You have nothing to, let's say, that suggests that you did something wrong. You have all the excuses you might want to gather in order to protect yourself. And when you decide to get out of it, to not be a victim anymore, suddenly you have all this responsibility. I need to make my situation better. I need to find a solution. I need to find a way to succeed by my own. When you're a victim, you have so many excuses. You can just make a bed out of it. But if you want to be a champion, if you want to be an athlete, victimhood is not the stance you're looking for. A victim, once again, can do nothing but wait for a savior to come. No one's coming to save you. Why did I say yank yourself out? Because it will not be pleasant once again. It will be brutal. You'll have to face reality, and this reality is I've been acting like a bitch for 8 years, and this is why I have no results to show. This is why my parents laugh at my ass when I tell them what one day I'll succeed. This is why none of my friends believe me when I tell them that I'll succeed. I've been telling them this from the seat of a victim. Why is my process called fairy tale? Because this name will allow you to understand that from the beginning, you've been living in a fairy tale. You've been asking the universe to shape itself so you could succeed. You didn't understand that the real game was to play Pro Gamer Simulator, and when you play Pro Gamer Simulator, you understand something. Your job was never to have the best environment possible for you to succeed. Your job was to succeed despite of the environment, despite of a lack of resources. So yank yourself out of victimhood. Yes, life is unfair. Yes, you will have to work way harder than anticipated. But you need to understand that this fairy tale you've been living in, it never existed in the first place. So it's not that, oh, I have so much work to do. The amount of work you had to do in order to succeed was always the same. Only you just told yourself bullshit for 8 years, and this is why you have nothing to show. Second word, tale. T is for translate belief into tangible evidence. Make sure that your new way of seeing things, make sure that the new skills you need to develop, make it all concrete, make it all measurable, make it all visible for others. If you tell me that toxicity shouldn't affect you anymore because you understood that Dark Sasuke doesn't matter, every time Dark Sasuke opens his mouth, just don't give a shit about it. And most of you will tell me something like, but it's difficult for me not to listen to someone who is screaming into my ears. All right. If you play the roguelike, you know these games where you have to start a run, they give you a shitty gear to start with, and then you have to battle the odds in order to win at some point. For instance, Audit or something like that. What happens in a game like this when you finish the game the first time? Congratulations, you just unlocked a new difficulty to make your life miserable. And do you know what you will do? You will activate this new difficulty. Why? Because you understood that the second you launched this game, it was supposed to be hard. It was supposed to be difficult. And then when you finish the game again, you know what will happen? Congratulations. Now you can make the game even harder, and you can make your life even more miserable. And you know what you will do? You will activate every fucking option like your life depends on it. And you will enjoy the process. You will enjoy dying and dying and dying again. Why? Because you didn't expect anything better. You didn't expect it to be easy. So when I tell you you're not supposed to be affected by Dark Sasuke, understand that all you have to, let's say, modify is your expectations. If when I'm launching my game, I expect my teammates to give up, I expect my teammate to stop communicating the second it gets hard, I expect them to be negative, to be toxic. What happens when they are toxic? I'll be like, yeah, everything's going according to plan. And I will just focus on myself and get what I want. This step translate belief into tangible evidence. It is the moment for you to gather an overwhelming amount of evidence that you're becoming this champion. Build more skills. Change the way you see things so they don't affect you anymore. Change the way you see things so they fuel you. I'm so delighted when I have toxic people in my team because I can train my ability to stop caring about people that have no importance in my life. I can stop caring about things that do not matter. I can just focus on me and what I can do to make things better. I can focus on the skills I need to build. I don't even need to win. Winning is useless for someone who plays Pro Gamer Simulator. The only thing you want to do when you're playing Pro Gamer Simulator is to build your skills. You want to build your leverage. And at the end of the day, yes, you become so good that the rank just follows with you. But it doesn't start with a rank. When you're playing Valorant Simulator, you first want the rank and then you want to be a pro. When you're playing Pro Gamer, you definitely want to be a pro right away, and then the results will show. They will come. Next step, audit your process and your thinking. The big problem in esports is people tend to believe that the method they're using right now to succeed is the best. Which makes sense because if you didn't believe that what you're doing right now is the best way for you to succeed, you would have changed your method. Problem is, people tend to validate their method based on the worst method possible. They just watch around them. Oh, look, everyone does this. I'll do it as well. If everyone is doing this, it's probably because it's working. Sure. And everybody is professionally in esports, right? No, there's only like a handful of players who can do it. Yep. So basically, you're copying a method to fail. You're copying the people that will fail in this industry. Oh, people that will fail in this industry, they just launch the game and they just aim for a better rank. Oh, people who will fail in this industry, they just do scrims and they don't review, they don't spend more time on strategy, they don't spend more time on understanding how the game is played at high level, they just do the bare minimum. I'll do that. Audit your process and your thinking. Audit means the thing I'm doing, is it giving me the results I'm supposed to get? No, I need to make things better. I need to improve my method. I need to understand why it's not working instead of just launching the game over and over and over again and hoping for the best. When you have this process of auditing what you're doing, every day you're like, is this method good enough? Am I going fast enough to reach the highest level, or am I just barely moving up? And if you're not moving forward rapidly enough, you're not improving. You're just getting late. Next step, leverage every situation to your advantage. Turn everything into a training. I laugh my fucking ass off when I hear a player tell me, I want to be a champion. I want to be to have a crazy work ethic. I want to have a way of seeing things that allows me to keep control no matter what. And then when I watch them do their thing, I see them blow off every fucking time. And when they do, they tell me this thing. Oh, it was my day off. Oh, I'm not training right now. This is why I just got upset. This is why I just got frustrated. This is why I lost it. And I'm always laughing because I tell these guys, do you really think you're going to be a champion if you're just acting like a champion from 9 to 6 and then you become this coward again the rest of the time. Do you think you'll be able to catch these people that are so advanced compared to you by jerking off half the time? And when I ask them this, it reminds them that, yeah, they were living in a fairy tale. They thought that doing the bare minimum, doing this adventure, just like it was a regular job. You know, a regular job, you can just show up, do the bare minimum, go back home, and you'll still be paid. If you do this in esports, you get nowhere. So leverage every situation. What does it mean? Even when I go to the bakery, I train. Why do I train? How do I train? By the time I get there, I'm telling myself, okay, what could go wrong? As usual, all people could be talking to the vendor, and I'll need to wait 20 minutes before I can pay and get the fuck out. So I tell myself this. And what happens when I get to the bakery? Yes, 3 old people are talking to the vendor. What happens? I don't get upset. I don't get upset because I knew it was coming. And I can even expect something even worse. Okay, the bread I'm going to buy, it's not available anymore. They'll have this other baguette that I don't like, but at least it's food. So what happens when I get there? Oh, my bread is here. I'm gonna grab it. I'm happy. Oh, my bread is not here. It's okay, I'll just grab the other one. It's not the end of the world. Leverage every fucking situation. Someone tells you, oh, dude, you need to help me. I got something urgent to do. And you were about to launch a game. You were about to train. What happens if you did not expect to be disturbed? You go crazy. Man, don't you see that I'm busy? Don't you see that I'm trying to fulfill my dream here? But if you expect to be disturbed, someone shows up and you're like, okay, yeah, I'm coming. And you just do the thing, come back, and then you train. Nothing happened. Leverage every fucking situation. Turn everything into a training. Dark Sasuke is being toxic. Thank you, Dark Sasuke. You are garbage. You're useless to me. But by being toxic, you allow me to train on my capacity to stop being affected by garbage like you. Thank you. Last letter. Expose yourself to your limits and push even further. I hear this all the time. I'll never have the aim of this pro player. I'll never have the intelligence of this player. I'll never have the work ethic of this guy. Identify your limits and fuck them all. Like, you think you cannot do something? Just do it. Prove yourself that you can do it. What you experience here when you tell yourself, oh, I can't do this, I'll never reach this level, this is called a limiting belief. And the problem with limiting beliefs is that you don't even try, you already give up. For instance, oh, I'm 30 years old. Esports is done for me. I'm too old. What are the chances that I'll try again? None, because I'm too old. I already gave up. Oh, I'm not really good in shooting games, so I guess I won't do it. What are the chances that I will improve my shooting skills? None, because I already accepted, I already told myself that it was a waste of time. So every time you detect something that supposedly you cannot do, it's too much, just do it to show yourself that you can do way more than you expect. And why did I want this process to be named fairy tale? Because every step of the way, when you fail, when you didn't respect this process, I want you to tell yourself, I'm living in a fairy tale and I need to stop if I want to succeed. Because seriously, if you think that toxicity will end in any game that is competitive, you need to wake the fuck up. Thank you for your attention.